Hey guys, and welcome back to episode 2 of Coach's Car Chronicles. My name is Charles Inferna, and I'm the throwing coach at Nazareth College, a small private D3 institution located in Rochester, New York. I'm also the owner of Forts Athletics, where we are a USATF-sanctioned track and field club with a focus and emphasis on educating, guiding, and mentoring young high school throwers in the shot put, discus, weight throw, and hammer. And today I wanted to talk a little bit about the beginning of the upcoming season. I had a chance to meet with one of my athletes on Monday, and I'm really pumped and really excited about this upcoming track season. He's a senior. We've been working together for 2 years, so this will be our third year together. And I'm really looking forward, and I'm really excited about the great opportunity that he has this season with indoor and outdoor track. Now, quickly with that, we spend a lot of time talking about our goals. And I know, it's the beginning of the season. A lot of people have goals. A lot of teams have goals, about what they want to achieve or what they want to accomplish, no matter how big or how small. But something that I've learned to talk about with my athletes over the course of the past couple of years is, we could have a lot of goals. We could want to accomplish a lot of things, but if we don't have commitments, if we don't have anything that we're going to do in order to try and achieve those goals, there's not a good chance that the goals are gonna happen. So what I mean by that is, I'm gonna give an example. Let's say in 18 months, I want to publish a book on coaching. Let's say, right? So before I do that, I'm gonna have to create a manuscript. Kind of like a draft that I can submit to publishers. Before I can submit to publishers, if you want a good chance, I think of having that manuscript accepted, you have to have an editor. You have to have someone review your work before you send it to a publisher to potentially be, transferred into a book. So before you have it edited, you have a lot of work to do, right? So you're going to have to write your book. You have to think about your themes, your topics. If you're going to interview people, if you're going to do a lot of in-depth research and background checking and fact checking and all these things. Is it a memoir? Is it a how-to? Is it a self-help? And to figure that out, you're also going to have to write. If you want to publish, like I said, let's say in 18 months, you can't wait until month 17 and say, I'm going to start pumping this book out right now. Now, unless it's going to be like an ebook or just something easy that, you might put together and sell it on your website or something along those lines. That's different. What I'm talking about is a book, might show up on the shelf at Barnes & Noble, something like that, Amazon.com, things along those lines. So you have to have little commitments. So for this example, my commitment might be that I'm going to write, 1 page a day. Now, that might not seem like a lot, but over the course of a year, you're going to have 365 pages. If you have, 2 pages a day, then obviously you're going to double that. Or you might just say, I want, 10 pages a week. 10 pages a week, you're going to have, over 500 pages of text. Now, not all that text might not be transferred into your book, but you kind of get the idea. So with throwing, let's say our example is that we want to throw 20 meters in the weight throw, right? So if we want to throw 20 meters and our first meet is December, we're not going to start practicing 2 days before the meet and expect and hope to throw 20 meters. It might not work like that. Unless your personal best is like 23 or 24 meters, maybe you could just show up. I'm talking about just for, any college athlete or college thrower that's on campus right now. They back on campus, really excited to get going with the season. And you just sit around until you can actually start practicing or you can actually do official things with your coaches. You're just kind of putting yourself back. So what commitments are you going to make to yourself in order to get to 20 meters? Are you going to, throw on your own for Division III, especially since we only have a limited amount of time of weeks? You're going to throw on your own before you can officially practice with your coach? Are you going to go to the weight room 3, 4, 5 days a week? Are you going to go to the trainers and get recovery and stim and sit in the ice bath? Are you going to take care of your nutrition? What are you going to do? What are you committed to in order to get to 20 meters? Now, in Division III, on the men's side, if you throw 20 meters, there's a really good chance at the D3 National Championships, you're going to win the national championship. There's only been 11 male throwers, I think, in Division III history that have ever gone 20 meters. There's only been a couple that have thrown 20 meters at the national championships. So it's a pretty lofty goal. But what are the little things that you're going to do in order to try and achieve that goal, if that's what it is? Or even, let's say our goal is 15 meters. You want to throw 50 feet in the weight or the shot put, whatever. What are you going to be committed to? As athletes and individuals, there's really only a couple things that we really have the most control over. So if we say we want to win a competition, we might have to throw out of our minds in order to win. We also might not have to. So those are some things that you need to think about also. Do I want to win, or do I want to throw a certain distance? Because if you throw a certain distance, you still might not win. You might not need to PR in order to stand on the podium at that number one spot. But for that 15-meter thrower, 20-meter thrower, what are we going to be committed to? What do we have control over? Well, we have control over our training, right? Whether we go to the weight room. We have control over practice, throwing, right? You can't have one without the other. So you can't just throw and not lift. You can't lift and not just throw, all right? We have our nutrition. So you control really what you're going to put into your body, the type of food you're going to eat at the cafeteria or that you're going to cook for yourself. And you have control over recovery as well, right? So if you stay up until 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning every night and then try and get up at 6 o'clock in the morning or 7 and go to 8 o'clock class, that after a while your body's going to break down. So how do you control your controllables? How much training do you put in? How much effort do you put in? Do you take care of your body? Do you recover? Do you do the stim? Do you do the ice bath? And also, do you take care of your body nutritionally? What kind of foods are you putting into your body? Now, I don't want this to be too much of a quick episode, but as we get forward and we start moving forward with our season, and people, like I said, everyone's talking about, goals and what you want to accomplish and what you want to achieve. What are you really committed to doing? To throw 20 meters, that's really far. 15 meters, that's realistic for most people. I'd say if you train really hard and you take care of yourself and you have a pretty good coach, pretty good working relationship for a guy, you could throw 15 meters, or 50 feet, or even for female throwers also 50 feet, 14 meters, whatever your goal or your outcome is. But really, for your commitments, what are you committed to doing? How much you're going to put forth every single day? What commitment are you going to make today to be able to throw 20 meters in March? What commitment are you going to make today in order to throw 15 meters in March, let's say, depending on what your goals are. So this will be even though this is the second episode of the season, I'm going to pick up on this a little bit over the next couple days because there's some more information I'd like to share about the goal setting process and commitments and what we're actually, how far are we willing to go to achieve that particular goal that we might have of throwing a certain distance or lifting a certain amount of weight in the weight room, in the bench press or squat or whatever it is. What are our commitments to be able to achieve those goals? Well, that's it for this episode 2 of the Coach's Car Chronicles. Talked a little bit about goal setting and commitments and what we're really focused on doing and what we can commit to ourselves in regards to how we want to try and accomplish those goals. So thank you very much, everyone, and have a great day.